ranking Overwatch characters on how much they would enjoy going to camp. So we're gonna start with Diva. Diva, she's probably just there for the s'mores. She's got work to do back at home. She's got some mechs to work on, and being in camp where there's not a lot of technology and more importantly, no video games, she's just really unhappy. I wouldn't recommend Diva going to camp, but she's at least happy to sit around the campfire and tell stories. Zenyatta. Um, he's promoted to counselor. Obviously, it's Zenyatta. It wasn't because they thought he would be a good counselor, but it's because they thought that he was just, you know, cooler and more responsible than the other folks there. Bastion, beyond excited to be here. Bastion's just excited to be included, plus camp out in the woods. There's going to be a lot of birds. He loves birds. So yeah, Bastion's excited to be here. Winston, obviously a counselor. This guy runs the show. He's the type of guy that will, like, if a kid's acting up, he'll take them on a walk in the woods and just tell them about how they could be so much better and life could be so much easier and they're understood and they're validated. Winston's just a great guy. Cassidy jumped out of the bus on the way there. There's no way in hell Cassidy wants to be here. He's worried he might run into Ash. Plus, he's got some people to go vigilante for. Sigma, I'm gonna put him into Mom Forced him with Mom being Moira. He doesn't know why he's here. He doesn't know what's going on. He's just there. There's not much to say about him. Widowmaker jumped out the bus on the way, obviously. Widowmaker isn't getting caught dead at camp. Literally. She's not going. It's not going to happen. As much as you'd love to see her there in her bikini when you all go to the camp ocean or the camp lake, she's not a part of that. Orisa, easily a counselor. I mean, Effie programmed her to be a counselor. I'm 99.9% sure. And if she wasn't a counselor, she'd be beyond excited to be there. Orisa's just a happy horse. Plus, horses belong in the wilderness. Baptiste, he's excited for some s'mores. Not really, like, he's excited to sit around the campfire and riz everyone up. Like, that's all he's looking forward to. Ash jumped out of the bus when she saw Cass jump out of the bus. She's probably going after him, probably trying to get married to him. These two are inseparable. At least, that's how I would view them at camp. Alright, hear me out on this. I think Genji's excited to be here. Genji's got a lot of rough things going on behind the scenes, and I think he's going to use this as like an escape. I think he's not going to tell anyone, but he's super excited to be here. Plus, he's going to use his sword as a s'more stick. Sojourn jumped out of the bus on the way here. I mean, we've seen her cinematic. She don't really care what anyone got to say. She just does her thing. And, good for her. But not really my cup of tea. Zarya. This one's hard. Because, like, she's definitely not a counselor. But I think she's probably just there for the s'mores. Like, that's the only reason she went. Yeah. Junker Queen jumped out of the bus on the way just because it goes against what a normal individual would do. It's Junker Queen. She's got to be weird. She's got to be a rebel. Moira. She's a counselor, but not because she wanted to be like the leader of camp. She just didn't want to be below anyone, so she killed the guy to make sure that she became counselor. Whoever was next in line, Moira killed them and took their spot. She's only here to keep an eye on Sigma and to study. Mercy, counselor. No, she's excited to be here. Mercy's so happy. She's like the camp doctor, the camp nurse. She's going to take care of everyone. She's super excited to see everyone have a good time. All that stuff. Mercy's such a sweetie. May, same thing. No. May's a counselor. She's creating the activities that everyone does. Her and Snowball are staying up all night thinking about what everyone can do to have so much fun the next day, and no one else just gives a shit whatsoever. They don't care. They don't want to be a part of it. But May's putting in her whole body, being, and soul into this. She thinks this is a perfect experience that everyone should be able to have. Hanzo jumped out of the bus. He's too cool to be there. Let's just be honest. Well, okay, he thinks he's too cool to be there. I don't think he's too cool to be there, but he thinks he is. And for that reason, he just left. He doesn't want to be there. Plus, Genji's going to be there. He doesn't want to deal with Brotherhood strife. He doesn't want to deal with the drama, all that stuff. Now, Kiriko, she's just excited for the s'mores because Kiriko likes to eat, especially sugary stuff. I'm not saying she won't have fun, because I think she will. It's Kiriko. She's got a very young soul. But I think that the s'mores are probably 99.9% of the reason of why she wanted to go in the first place. Lucio's mom forced him. He didn't want to go. He wanted to stay home, listen to his music. Plus, it's hard to skate on dirt. And he would have to wear shoes, regular shoes, and Lucio don't do that. He don't wear regular shoes. But he's not going to make his mom mad. He's not going to make his mom disappointed in him. He's going to go because he's a good boy. Reaper, counselor, just like Moira, not because he wants to, but Moira made sure that he was a leader with her. He's super pissed off to be here. He thinks it's a waste of time. Moira thinks it's a perfect time to study people. Reaper's pissed, but he's still the boss. Anna. Uh, so I'm gonna say mom forced them, but obviously Anna's a grandma. I just don't think Anna would go. I don't think she'd jump out of the bus because I don't even think she'd make it into the bus. I just don't think she would go. So mom forced them with the caveat of she wouldn't even go in the first place. Soldier, secretly beyond excited to be there. I don't care what anyone says, this man's a softie. He would be so happy to be there, plus he'd be able to riz Mercy or Angela. He's going to be all about that. Junkrat, beyond excited to be there. I don't care what anyone says. This little man right here, he's just going to be laughing and sitting at the campfire, fucking blowing up grenades. He's just having a good old time. He's not paying attention. Symmetra. Um, Excited to be here just for the opportunity to study, like, wildlife and things like that, and how she can make her technology better. But I think after a day or two, she's just gonna leave. She's gonna teleport herself out of there. She's like, all right, I've had enough. Tracer as well. So Tracer is a counselor, and she's very similar to May, where she's like, let's plan all these things. She's sitting in the same room with May and Snowball, trying to figure out what everyone's gonna do the next day. Tracer keeps forgetting that people don't have like that thing in their chest, so they can't blink or rewind themselves. So May has to constantly remind her, like, hey, people can't just blink over these massive 4,000-foot gaps that you're creating. So let's just chill. And Tracer doesn't understand it, but she's so happy to include everyone. Wrecking Ball, beyond excited to be there. Obviously, he's a hamster going in the woods. He's probably not even going to be in his suit most of the time. I mean, catch his suit sitting in the tent unoccupied while he's just running around being a fucking menace, eating everyone's graham crackers and shit. Like, no. Wrecking Ball's going nuts. He's super happy to be here. Roadhog's happy to be here with Junkrat. You know, they're best buddies. They're just chilling. You know, he's excited to be here because he gets some s'mores. He gets to hang out with people. He gets to eat as much as he wants. It's just a great time for Junkrat. Reinhardt jumped out of the bus on the way here. He saw, like, a fucking stop sign and he thought it was an Omnic and jumped out of the bus and attacked it and then couldn't get back to the bus. Like, that's just it. Like, Reinhardt wanted to go to an extent, but he missed the bus or he jumped out of the bus. Something happened to where Reinhardt just didn't make it in the first place, and he's really sad about that. Farah, Mom forced her. Anna made Farah go. Farah did not want to be a part of it. Mom said you can't wear your flying suit because that's cheating. But Farah went. She had to. Grandma made her go, which is Mom, but still, Grandma, Anna. Echo, beyond excited to be there. She wouldn't be a counselor because she doesn't really know much about anything, but she's really happy that they included her, and she can't wait to go. Although when they're all sitting at the campfire eating their s'mores and enjoying themselves, she's gonna make everyone sad because she's gonna, do her sigh and say, "I wish I could eat," and then everyone's just gonna feel bad for her. She's gonna bring the mood down, but not on purpose, because Echo's such a sweetheart. Sombra jumped out of the bus on the way there. Actually, no. Beyond excited to be there. The only reason I think she's beyond excited to be there is because it is an area that she can just go around and fuck with everyone. Pretty much, it just by fucking with things. Sombra's there to troll. That's it. She'll probably get bored after a couple of days and translocate herself the fuck out, and that's okay, but she's there to troll. Brigitte, counselor. I mean, she's not planning stuff like Tracer and May. Instead, she's walking around the camp fixing things. So, like the broken porta potty, or if there's like a shred of wood missing from one of the cabins, Brigitte's fixing it. 100%. Brigitte's just number one. Torb. We're going to say, actually, I'm going to get rid of the mom forced. I'm just going to say forced. Whoops. You go. Okay. Brigitte forced Torb. Torb wanted nothing to do with this. He thought it was a waste of time, but he's supportive of Brigitte. He knew she was going to be the counselor. He let Brig go. And she said, Dad, you got to come with. Or Papa, you got to come with. Doomfist. I think he'd be like... No. So Doomfist is excited to be there, but he really wanted to be a counselor, but Moira and Reaper wouldn't let him. And he's freaking out because he's not like a boss. He's below them. He's got to take orders, and I think he's really unhappy about that. Now, there are a couple of people missing from this list, like Juno and Ramatra. Ramatra jumped out of the bus on the way there. He has no reason to be there. He doesn't want to be there. And Juno, beyond excited to be there, obviously. She's never been to, like, a camp that's on Earth. Maybe on Mars, but definitely not on Earth. Thank you guys so much for liking, watching, subscribing, hitting the noti. I'm currently working on the gold ranks DPS players, or gives changes that they want in DPS players, but there's a lot of people, so bear with me. But thank you guys so much. Mwah.